Today, I'm going to be servicing the transmission on this 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLS 580. The car is just about to turn over 70,000 miles and is overdue for a transmission service. And here are the parts. This is the oil. That is the part number, and I have two 5-liter jugs. Here's the pan slash filter. Came with the tubes and hardware. And there's the part number for that. And in order to service this transmission, you're going to need a toolkit for this transmission. So you can buy these on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. And let's get to it. All right, we got the car in the air. We're just gonna take both splash guards off, the one covering the engine here, and then the one covering the transmission. And they're just 8mm bolts. All right, we got the splash guards off now. Now you're gonna use this tool in your toolkit to undo this, and it's cupped so it will catch some of the oil if some spills out, just like that. And now in your service kit, you're gonna grab the longer rod here, and this point is gonna point towards the back of the car. And these are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 positions. I'll put the positions and what they mean in the video. And so we go in, we put it up in there. And so it's on position 1 right now. And we're just gonna turn it all the way to position 4. And we're just gonna let it drain. And as you can see, that is that's due for a change. All right, so we're just gonna let that drip for a while. Now it's time to drain the fluid out of the torque converter. And yes, you can drain the fluid out of the torque converter, which is pretty cool in these transmissions. The access panel is right here. It just takes a 10mm Allen. I'm just using this hand Allen tool because I can get in there with that. And you just turn it. It doesn't take much turning. It just takes a small amount of turn. And then you might need to use something to pull it out with. So I got this. I'll be able to just pull it out. And that, you're able to access the drain, and the drain is all ready and lined up. And I did turn the engine over with a 1 1/16 inch wrench, and you're able to get in there and turn the crank pulley bolt right there. So that's pretty neat. And you just turn it until that drain plug lines up. And that's a 4mm Allen. All right, gonna undo this drain. All right, and this might take a while. You might need to poke something in there in order to get air up in there so it drains. So I got this zip tie I just found on the ground. Just gonna poke it. Oh yeah. Now it's leaking. Okay, it's been draining for a little over half an hour, and it's slowed down enough to start putting stuff back in. Put this converter drain plug back in. Torque wrench. You can do this by hand too. You can just by feel. You don't want to just over torque it. It's not very big. Definitely don't want to strip it out. And that's good. Back in. Just like that. Wonderful. Okay, it's time to remove the oil pan. I got the fill in, and these are all pretty self-explanatory. It just takes an E10 socket for all of them. And if you don't have an E10 socket, you can just use a 8mm hex. The only challenge is this bracket right here that's overlapping the pan. I'm just gonna undo it and then bend it out of the way. And the two on each of the corners is somewhat challenging, but not bad. And then there's one right in the middle, but I mean, you can still get in there with the proper wrench setup. And so I'm just gonna undo it a little bit and then just take it off my fingers, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, got the oil pan off. I didn't need to bend this bracket as much as I thought I did. It just moves out of the way. And so pretty easy taking it off. Here's the old pan. This is the new pan. The new pan has more magnets, which is pretty neat. If your kit didn't come with the tubes, which my kit did, you're gonna have to transfer them over. And so they're pretty easy. You just line up the nubs and then it just snaps in like that. And this is a dealer level sensor. Only the dealers are gonna use this. And you just line up the nubs. Just like that. And before you install the new pan, you might want to just transfer a little bit of oil onto the O-rings so it slips in easier. Okay, I've taken the old filler tube off and I just want to show how this works with the key involved. So when the key is in all the way counterclockwise, this is number 1 setting. This is where you fill it. And then number 2, just ignore that. And then number 3 is your set fill. That's where the oil level needs to be once the car is all the way up to operating temperature. And number 4, clicked all the way, it's a full drain. And so that's how this thing works. So pretty cool design. All right, got the new pan installed. We're gonna undo the drain / fill. And then we wanna make sure we're in number 1 here. Let's see, okay, yep, we're in number 1. Now we're gonna put our adapter pieces in because we're gonna get ready to fill here. And put the barb in, and this is what we're gonna fill it through. This is my fill setup, and I'm just gonna hand pump it in. All right, just finished up putting my first 5 liters in, and now on to the next jug of 5 liters. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put 2 liters in and then start the car just to get the converter pumped up, because I don't want too much oil in this pan, because sometimes there's breathers or overflows and that will just make a mess, and I want to try to avoid that if I can. So yep, gonna continue on. All right, we're in the car and we're just gonna get started here. Okay, and we'll just bump it into drive, because why not? Wheels are turning. Oh boy. I'll throw it in neutral. And then reverse, because why not? All right, cool. Okay, just gonna pump the rest of what I have. Okay, just finished up putting in the 10 liters of oil into the transmission. The next step here is to get it into operating temperature. And once it's at operating temperature, we're gonna remove all this, and there is gonna be oil that comes out. And with the key, we're gonna turn it to number 3. And that is gonna be the set level of the oil level. And so a lot's gonna come out actually. So, and in order to know when the transmission is at 39 degrees Celsius, with the OBD2 scanner, you can go into the monitoring page, and that's how you can know. And another option is an infrared gun. Now these are not entirely accurate, but it's absolutely better than nothing. Or I mean, you can just run the car into operating temperature, and I think that's fine. I don't think you have to get that scientific about it. And I mean, this car can take upwards of 15 minutes of just idle time in order to get it to operating temperature. So just a heads up. I'm gonna start the car here. And now we're just gonna heat it up. All right, we're right around 23 minutes of run time. The transmission is up to temperature, and we're just gonna undo the line here, and there's gonna be some oil dropping out. Okay. And remove all these fittings. Now with the key, we are currently in position 1, or should be. Oh, there we go. Position 1, and we're gonna go to click number 3. So level 3. Oh. Let's see. So number 3. Oh man. Okay, so we're like right around perfect. Yeah, so that's great. So that ended up being perfect. So back to position 1. And then we're just gonna plug it up. Perfect. And that's gonna wrap up this video on servicing the transmission on this Mercedes-Benz GLS 580, out doing a test drive, and it's shifting beautifully like it should. Thanks for watching.